Hello and welcome back. A few things to talk about today. First of all, the Anycubic Kobra X. It arrived very quickly. I heard stories about Anycubic's customer services and delivery issues, but I didn't have any. 2 days it took that it was here. What I want to do, it's not a comparison video as such between the Kobra X and the X2D, because what we've got is one of the fastest single nozzle printers with less print time and purge waste compared to the dual nozzle of the X2D. I think it'd be quite interesting. I know the price difference is ridiculous, it's like £200 versus £800, but still, I think it'd be quite interesting. It was very noisy when I set it up. The bed moving backwards and forwards, the travel of that made a horrendous noise. It didn't sound faulty, it was just very loud. But then, after I finished my first print, the app told me it needed a firmware update. And I did that, and it quietened it down quite significantly. It's now very tolerable, in fact it's quieter than the X2D, which is saying something because that's not a loud printer. One issue I did have it with you have to excuse me. One, my voice is going, and two, I can't get my words out. Deal with it. One issue I did have was with the quoted figures for their purge waste. They said it saves up to 50% in purge waste compared to a single nozzle printer. Now it does save purge waste, but not as much as they claim, because the flushing volumes are set very low. I think it was set to 0.7. Now, when I did prints at that setting, when it went from black to white, or black to a light colour, it had a lot of banding around the area. The only way I could get rid of that was by changing the black to lighter colour multiplier to 1.5. So now it doesn't save as much purge waste. I'd say it saves about 20 to 30%, to be honest, compared to a normal single nozzle printer, but not 50%. I think they're exaggerating the figures a little bit there. But I'll do some bigger prints. I've only done small things so far, but I'll do some bigger prints and we'll see how it goes and I'll let you know. Another thing I wanted to talk about was glue. I'm stuck on the table again. I was using super glue, but it was very runny and it left a white residue on the models if it dripped. And I saw that other YouTubers were using this Kraftprotz 3D printing super glue for PLA and PETG. It does say ABS and TPU as well, but they also sell one for ABS, so I'm not too sure. But it does work very well. It's a gel, so it doesn't run down, and it doesn't leave any white residue. So far, that's working very well, and I do recommend it. I'll put a link in the description to where you can get it on Amazon. You noticed in the last episode, if you watched it, that I had a little segment called "What Have I Been Printing This Week?"
What have I been printing this week?
Now, what I'd like to do is feature that in a Friday video every week. I think it was a Monday last week, but I'd like to move that to a Friday. I think it might make a nice little Friday segment. Although this week, what I haven't featured, I printed a riser for the X2D to stop the tube rubbing on the top glass. It was very nice to print. It went together very easily, and I went a bit overboard and printed a riser, a screen surround and a door handle, just to match. I'm not one for massive customization of printers. I think they look quite bad when people cover them in customizations, but I did get a bit carried away. One thing I have been printing this week, which I will do a feature on, I'll do a video on it. It's a 3D printable board game. It's called Printer Quest, and it's similar to if you have played the likes of Hero Quest. It's similar to that. Everything is 3D printed. The base, the walls, which is what I've been doing for about 3 days now, constantly printing walls and bases and connectors. I'm sick of the sight of them, to be honest, but it'll be good when it's done. And you get the characters, tokens, treasure, monsters, and it's turn-based. Each character has a set amount of moves they can do. So I'm quite looking forward to finishing that off and giving it a go. But I'll do a video on it. Hopefully some of you should find it interesting, and I'll include a link to the Kickstarter, which is where I got it from. It's nicely, it goes together so well. Just clicks in, all the pieces just click in. It's quite nice to build. So as I said, I think I'll do a video on that. This is my notebook because I've got a lot to talk about this week. I wanted to talk about sending prints internationally. I have a friend in Ireland who I send different printed items to. And this time he wanted the masks. You may have seen in the shorts, the masks are printed, and a phone stand for his friend, and a DS cartridge holder. About 4 or 5 items. So I shipped those over to Southern Ireland, which obviously doesn't class as the UK, so we have customs. The customs charged €70 for him to pick them up. And what they do apparently is they add up the cost of the items as an estimation and charge 20%. So they assumed that those items cost €350 altogether. Nowhere near. Now apparently what you're supposed to do is mark it as a gift on the declarations form, which I do, but you're supposed to include a note that specifies that they are a handmade item, a handmade gift, and a breakdown of the values. That way they don't make up their own ridiculous figures and charge you 20%. So it has had a parcel previously which you paid €20 for in customs fees, but apparently including this note, can't guarantee that they'll always be fair with it, but apparently it helps, so I'll give that a go next time I send the shipment over. Actually he wants a couple of logos printing, VW logos, and I might he wants 2 different colours. I might do that as the comparison with the 2 printers. I'll do another video on that, I think. You may realise this isn't permanent. This is a dining table and I'm getting in trouble. So I'm trying to set up a small studio in the garage. Now, while I was in there, moving things around, I discovered a printer I've not used for a few years now, so I'll make a video on that soon as well. It's not a filament printer, it's not FDM, you might be able to guess, but I will make another video because I found it and I thought, oh, I forgot about you, I've not used you for years. So yeah, look out for that. And I think that is all I need to talk about for now. And my voice is going, my throat's going, so I can't really speak much more. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. So many people are watching without subscribing, and it's just a click and it helps so much. So please subscribe, and even liking works as well. So with all that out of the way, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.